keeping him that way.
I am going to have a nervous breakdown before we come down to the wire here. We have the 3 of Blue Bucket getting out of the way for these guys who are just having the battle of their life. We have 88 all over Jose, who is your leader right now, coming
Again,
from
Jose
far
really
back.
slow through the corner.
You know what? We're coming up to 3 to go, and I would not be surprised if Jose is
And
doing
the
everything
11's in
he
the
can
wall.
to hold on to it. 11 into the wall, falls back. I heard there was a little contact between 10 and the 11. This battle, though, between 9 and 10, it is going to be something. The points are going to be so close, J-Mac. Absolutely incredible. The 88 just flirting with that
the
apron.
88. Ooh, I think he got the apron because he lost a lot of momentum there.
Incredible.
This race has gotten really crazy here at the end.
It is.
You can see at the 43, he's giving the international signal. He's hitting pit road, but I don't think that's why he's doing that. He's just sitting there trying to break the draft. 1 to go at this time by.
1 to go this time by. Jose is your current leader. We have Pro Boss in second, Expert Toaster in third. We have 88 in fourth, 11 who has fallen back in fifth. Man, only a couple of turns, guys. Pro Boss just getting into the back end of Jose, who is just holding that inside line. Pro Boss is going to do everything he can to hang out for this win here, but he's going to have to do something magical. Expert Toaster going on the inside. Can he hold it off? We're going to see Jose as the winner. Man, did you even see
I think the
who
9
got
got the 10 at the line.
Absolutely
I think the 9
incredible.
got the 10 at the line. That was crazy. They all accordioned up, exiting 2. The 43 might have broke checked the 9 just a little bit. The 10 ran into him, and the 88 was like 2 car lengths back. And instead of going high, he just ran into the back of the 10. So I don't know what was going on there, but they all just kind of ran together there. And I think thanks to Boss's win at Daytona, he will move on. I'm not sure. That's unofficial. It completely means just speculating, but I think that's how sure what happened there. But these guys are still side by side, and the 88's giving them both drafts, keeping them that way.
I am going to have a nervous breakdown before we come down to the wire here. We have the 3 of Blue Bucket getting out of the way for these guys who are just having the battle of their life. We have 88 all over Jose, who is your... All right, guys, hope you are all doing well. We have such an exciting night tonight. I'm excited. We're going to do a mic check, make sure everything is good, but man, oh man, it's going to be a great night. Everything sounds good. We have a very special race tonight. We've talked about it. I mean, it's been coming, but we have AKA's Cup Series League. The championship race is tonight, and it's going to be crazy. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to AKA's championship race here at Homestead Speedway, brought to you by Shake and Bake Racing. Now, if you saw last week at Chicago, you saw a fantastic race between the top 5 in points. Tonight, we're going to take the final, I'm going to say 4 because there's one driver that may not be able to show up, but fingers crossed that something changes. But for now, it's the final 4. We're going to have them battle it out on track and crown whoever crosses the line first as the champion. Now, before we get to the race, for the last time, we're going to do our driver spotlight. Let's bring out the championship contenders and hear from them. Welcome, guys. It's good to have you all in the booth at the same time. How you guys doing tonight?
Very excited. What's up? I'm ready to go.
I hear you. I'm pumped for it. We're gonna start with the Bolt. Are you there, Bolt?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Your question for the night. After not having the race you needed to have these past few weeks to capture another win, has your strategy changed going into the final race?
I'll be honest, going into the race, the strategy really hasn't changed. My strategy, as always, is always try to win, even though I haven't been successful. But it's just racing and just to have fun. And, this season I've had a lot of fun. But the start of the season, it was super rough for me. It took me a while to find my feet. And then over time, I just started to get the hang of things and got to race against people more. And it became more fun. And in order to be successful, you have to have a lot of fun. And that's what I've had so far. And that's the plan going into this race. and try and represent Gibbs Gaming Interstate Batteries really well, and hopefully try and get the win here. But it's gonna be very difficult because we have 3 other fast guys who are very difficult to beat on a weekly basis. So yeah, super excited and ready to have fun.
It is going to be cool. I'm excited to see all you guys battle it out. And like you said, there's a lot of fast guys here tonight. So it should be a fantastic race. So a lot of luck to you tonight, Bolt.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to Jose 720. He's another one in the championship race here tonight. So I got to ask you, Jose, punching your ticket last week at Chicagoland and having the momentum going into tonight's race, how aggressive, if at all, are we going to see your driving tonight to bring home a championship?
I'll pretty kind of try to drive the same. I don't know. Let's see. I'm not sure. I'm trying to drive the same, stay up front, because I know track position is a pretty big key here, especially you don't want to get stuck in the back on the, especially off the corners, because it gets very loose hitting those seams. So
absolutely.
So like right now, making last minute changes because I'm hitting those seams and it just wants to swing out from under me. So doing a couple minute last second changes, but aggressive. I'm gonna try. I don't know. I'm gonna try to drive the same. There are probably at points where I'm gonna be more aggressive than I would be normally.
Right.
I feel like winning last week and then at Charlotte 3 races ago. I feel like the momentum's on my side, especially finishing, I think, third, and whatever else I finished at Pocono. I think it was 5th, but I don't know. Wishing for good luck today.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of luck to you. And like I said, you won last week at Chicagoland. It was a heck of a race. So hopefully that momentum carries you far. And maybe we'll be seeing you in victory lane tonight as far as the championship goes.
Hope so.
All right, Pro Boss. We're bringing on over. This is the league owner, a.k.a. Pro Boss. This guy is just all over the place. He's got cup leagues, Xfinity, trucks, you name it. This guy is very, very busy. How you doing tonight, Pro Boss?
Very, very busy. Like you said, right now I'm trying to get the link out to everything I know that we're live. Yeah, I'm good. I'm excited. This is really cool. This whole season's been it's been a real roller coaster, but it's neat to see it culminate like this.
Right. I mean, everything is led up to this point, so this is the big finale. This is what everyone's been waiting for. So I have to ask you, Pro Boss. We saw a fire in you last week at Chicagoland after the pressure was on to make the championship 5 here. After such an incredible battle to make the championship race, how has that prepared you for tonight?
Well, it's all about focus. It's all about focus. You know, I wear many hats. You know, we've been trying to get Dohar an Xbox so he could race. You know, he's trapped in Daytona tonight.
Right.
He won't be able to make it. Yeah, just trying to solve everyone's little issues. When I can sit down and I wasn't streaming last week and focus on just me and my racing, I tend to do a lot better. You know, it's very busy being a league owner. Tonight we're ready. You know, we were able to squeak out a good finish last week. We got where we needed to go, and yeah, we're ready tonight. Though we're focused. We're going to win us a championship tonight.
Awesome to hear, because I'll tell you what, if you guys missed it who are watching, and I want to give a quick shout out to Virtual Auto Sports, Rock NASCAR, Little Trizzy, all you guys, everyone is piling in, and I love it, because you're in for a treat tonight. If you saw last week, or if you didn't, you need to watch it, because the battle out there was absolutely incredible, and I think it's going to be the same tonight. So I wish you a lot of luck, Pro Boss. Hopefully we'll be seeing you in victory lane. I'm saying that to everybody. I don't want to like jinx or do anything to anybody, but man, I mean, just so many talented guys out here driving for the championship. So good luck to you.
We have thank you very much. We have an incredible field. you finish 8th place and you feel like you've done something. The
Yes.
talent level,
is
it's just,
stacked.
it's insane.
Absolutely.
This is the last one. We'll be starting up our next fall season in the middle of August, and we'll carry it on from there. So, yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
All right. Expert Toaster, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
We
Drove
had you
all
as
day
a...
to get home and tired.
Oh,
but
jeez.
I'm good.
Did you go to
I know.
Daytona?
No, I was out of town visiting my
Okay.
parents. I left Tuesday night, so I kind of got back here at about 7:30. Tried to throw a setup in. I think it's good.
So you have been busy too, and we talked to you last week as a driver spotlight. And man, I'll tell you what, the same with you and Pro Boss. You just had a fire lit under you, and time and time again, we've seen you lay low and then make a huge run to the front on the second half of the race. Unlike Chicagoland, where you started second and remained out front the entire time. So my question for you is, what kind of strategy can we see from you tonight?
Well, I think track position's huge. I want to be up near the front or out front as much as possible, and really keeping the car clean, keeping the damage off of it.
Absolutely.
And then I want to avoid a couple of words that I hear from Jose way too often.
Which is?
Inside toast, down low toast.
We'll
I can
see if
avoid
we're going to
that,
see that
yeah.
tonight. I wish I could hear that. But yeah, I mean, you had an incredible run this entire season. Just, you were always so sneaky. You would just somehow appear off the radar and then just out of nowhere, bam, top 5. And you were just out there racing with everybody. So competitive. So I'm excited to see what you have tonight. And I know you weren't the most confident with your car last week, but I'll tell you what. You made your presence known, and you got into the top spots for the championship tonight. So a ton of luck to you tonight, Toaster.
Good. Yes, I appreciate that, because I think the luck you offered me last week helped. So now we got a ton of luck.
There you go. You should have all the luck you need now, right?
Yeah, good deal.
Absolutely. All right, guys, I want to give a quick shout out again to all you guys out in the chat. Thank you for the follows and the support. These guys are just absolutely excited. Pro Boss has gone back to lead them out to qualifying. They will be starting it shortly here. But I got to say hi and bring in J-Mac. How you doing today, J-Mac?
I'm doing just lovely, Frozen.
I hear you. It's been a crazy weekend. I've been so excited to get these guys out here, the final race. And man, I'll tell you what, as much as I'm excited, I'm a little sad because it's been so fun this season watching these guys race and calling all the action and just seeing who's where and who's winning and all that stuff. So who do you think we are going to see towards the front here tonight?
Well, there are 4 pretty good options, I'd say. The 4 people we just talked to definitely going to be on the short list of guys running up front. I would imagine they've all worked really hard on their cars for this week, and they're going to try to go out there and get themselves a championship. I would say the favorites would probably be Jose or the Bolt. I'd say those two have kind of separated themselves and been super consistent all season. Jose has had, I think, fewer bad races, while Bolt has had more. I'd say his wins have been maybe a little more impressive. So that's kind of the yin yang there is what's going to happen. But those are the 2 I'm looking at. But Pro Boss has proven if he can carry the momentum from last week that he is no slouch. And Expert Toaster, like we've said, he's a guy that kind of just lays in the weeds, and then next thing you know, he's up there battling for the lead late in these races. So I imagine this is going to be a good fight between those 4.
It's so true. It's so true. And tonight, we're going to bring out betting. We have one driver that can't come tonight. He was at the Daytona race today. He couldn't make it home in time since they postponed the race. So do not vote for JRM Dohar, but I'm gonna go ahead and start this. I was
That
hoping
is
he
your
would make
fault.
it.
If you,
Do not put
we
a
are
bet on
warning you
him.
now.
But if you want to place a bet, you're more than welcome to. Here's how you do it. I'm gonna go ahead and place a bet here. It should be a lot of fun. I know that everyone enjoys doing it. Man, if you want to wait till after qualifying and see who is on pole, you are more than welcome to do so. But I'll tell you what, every last one of these guys are super fast. I'm gonna go ahead and place a bet here. That's exactly how you do it. You just take the number of the person you want to bet on, and the final number is the amount that you want to bet on the person. Now, let's get back to the race here. I want to talk about last week. So it was one of my favorite of the season. It was Chicagoland, which was the penultimate race that determined the championship contenders, and it did not disappoint. The top 5 in points battled out the entire race, but the 2 on the bubble, which was Expert and Pro Boss, they fought against each other the entire race, and it was so exciting to watch. But Jose, he won the race after coming back from a few seconds down after green flag stopped, so he punched his ticket with Dohar. That left Lucky Dog in with enough points, but Pro Boss and Toaster, they tied for the 4th spot and decided to have the final 5 battle it out for the championship. Like I said, Dohar cannot make it tonight, and I'm sorry to see that because I really think he would have put in a heck of a battle tonight. But the 4 that are here, it's going to be a crazy race, and it's Homestead. And we've talked about how loose Homestead can be. The thing you're going to see when you're on setups, your car is going to be extremely loose. It does not have a lot of grip. And once your tires are starting to wear, it can be a huge issue. So I have a feeling we're going to see a few cautions tonight unless these guys really have a handle on their handling. But we have 134 laps tonight, 40 laps for stage 1, around 38 for stage 2. And the final is going to be about 54. These guys can make it 30 laps on fuel, but I'm not sure the tires are going to let them, so we're going to see what they can do tonight. But J-Mac, in your opinion, what parts of the track are they going to have an issue on?
Well, really the biggest issues is in the middle and then the exit of the corners whenever you're turning down over that little transition in the banking. The car can get really loose. The bottom line can be really, really slick at times. And then coming off of the corner, a lot of guys, if they're getting tight, that exit will save you because that added banking will, and the wall sort of falls away from you there. It'll allow you to a little extra room that you might not think you have. If your car is a little loose, on the other hand, that banking will just grab that right rear and turn you around. So really the exits of the corners, especially when guys are side by side, when you're stuck on that outside, maybe you don't want to be there, that's going to be a really, really tough place for these drivers, I feel like.
Honestly, you're absolutely right, and I feel like sometimes even the inside is going to be a hard place to handle. I mean, the outside, sometimes it can be okay, but man, like you said, coming off the turns is going to be an issue. It can swing your car around, you get super loose, but even being on the inside, once you have some tire wear, we're going to see a couple of incidents and a couple of cautions come out. It's going to be a big thing here. Homestead is tough, even on presets. I don't, if you guys are familiar with the game at all, you have presets, which is basically a semi-loose version that you can go from tight to loose. But then you have setups, which is just what your mind can come up with. The fastest, tightest, loosest, it doesn't matter. Whatever your mind can come up with and can do to that car, that's how it's going to run. So these guys are running on an extreme handling, and Homestead is the biggest test you can put your car, in my opinion, and it's the final race here, so they are racing for a ton tonight. I'm hoping they're getting out to qualifying. I've set my notifications back on, so I'm hoping those are working now. We'll see what happens, but man, I cannot wait to see who gets on pole and what these front few rows are doing. Apparently I'm hearing
And
they're
to
still
your
trying to
point,
get it
Frozen.
starting.
I was gonna say, to your point, as we were talking about presets, and when we ran the trucks there, which are just the tightest of all the cars on the game, or all the racing vehicles that race on pavement. Uh, it those trucks down on the bottom line, a lot of people avoided that line because it can be so loose through the center of the corner and on entry. So as you said, that inside line through the first half of it's like you want to be in different spots at opposite end of the corner. You want to enter up high, but you want to exit down low, which
Right.
is impossible when you're racing with somebody. So that's gonna be an interesting thing to watch these drivers have to deal with tonight.
Absolutely. And I think for qualifying, these guys are going to run pretty much the whole track. I know when I'm running Homestead, I start off at the top, dive down to the apex, and just let her roll back up, coming onto the back stretch and the front stretch. However, when you're in race, that is a tricky, tricky place to run because it will get you very loose. So a lot of these guys during the race, I'm going to assume might run mid to upper. I don't think we're going to see a lot of people hitting those apexes really down low unless they're confident in their car handling and that it's tight enough. We have Dohar in the chat. What's up, guy? I really wish you were here tonight. It's good to have you, though, and I hope you enjoyed that Daytona race. I do want to give a shout out to there's a couple of followers out there. Airwolf, thank you so much for joining in, and for the follow, I appreciate it. If you guys want to place those bets, go ahead and do it. We still have a couple of minutes. I know they're getting ready to go to qualifying, or actually in it already. But we're going to get started soon. Hopefully Dohar is staying dry out there in Daytona, man. You had that race that was supposed to happen last night. It didn't. They got it in today, most of it, but rain hit again, so they ended that after an insane crash, which took out all my drivers in fantasy. I don't know how yours did, J-Mac, but mine took a huge hit. I went from like 2nd to 17th. That was terrible.
Oh, pretty much everyone I wanted to do well was involved in that one. So, yep, that was a shame.
I hear you. I hear you. Rock NASCAR, what's up? Hope you're doing well. It's crazy, but yeah, we should be getting to Homestead Speedway here shortly. It's a hot day out in Florida, but I'll tell you what, this competition tonight is going to be even hotter. We got Jose, you're going to look out for him. You got the Bolt, Expert Toaster, and then Pro Boss, and those are the 4 that are going for the championship. Of course, you have a full field tonight. I mean, it is completely packed. So they have to worry about all these other drivers, and they're racing for a win too. They're not just going to sit back. I mean, I think there's going to be some that if they see a race between 2 championship drivers, they're going to let them race it out probably. But there's going to be some that they're going to go for that win also. Jacob Care, what's up?
Absolutely.
Go ahead, J-Mac.
I was gonna say you don't show up tonight expecting to just ride around and finish in 8th. You expect to go out there and have some fun and try to beat some other guys, and that's what a lot of these drivers who aren't in that championship 4 are gonna try to do. And we'll see if maybe one of them can play spoiler tonight.
Absolutely. It's going to be very interesting. I cannot wait to see. I think the 2 big names we're going to see a lot of are Jose and the Bolt. But like we saw last week, do not count Expert Toaster out or Pro Boss. I mean, these guys are very, very hungry. They proved it last week that they want this championship, and they're going to go out and fight for it tonight. And I'll tell you what, before the race, I was talking to Pro Boss earlier, and he said, I got a little something up my sleeve for it tonight. So I'm excited to see what he's bringing out there. I think he's going to have a heck of a car. We'll see what he can do.
If he races like he did last week, there's definitely going to be a here comes Pro Boss moment.
Absolutely. Same with Toaster. I mean, we had him in the booth last week, and like he said, we wished him luck, and he said, I think you brought a little luck, and tonight, since you wish me more luck, we should have all the luck we need. So hopefully we'll see him up there battling it out with the rest of them, but it's going to be close. I have a feeling it's going to be super close tonight. Might see a too wide battle here for the win, but time will tell. I'm hoping that once we get settled, I think, like I said, I think we're going to see a few cautions, but once we get settled, I think these guys are going to get pretty well spread out.
I imagine this will be a tough place depending on the balance whenever the car starts to wear, the tire starts to wear. Some of these guys are going to get a little looser, some of these guys are going to get a lot tighter, and that's the beauty of Homestead. The track handles differently depending on what area of it you're on, how high you are, how low you are. So it'll be interesting to see these guys change their lines around.
It's so true, and it also depends on how you have your tires. If you have them up higher, you're going to have a lot more wear, and it's not going to drive as nice as it would if you had those lower tire pressures. So we're going to see a variance with that too. Who's going to be able to have the long run car more than others? And these guys, like I said, they can last 30 laps. That's a long time. I just think that tire wear is going to be hard going that long. The first stage, you're going to need to make a pit stop on all of these. So I think these guys, some of them might split it in half. I think a lot of them are going to wait. So we'll see what's going to happen. 40 laps for stage 1, 38 for stage 2, 54 for the final parts of the stage. But 30 laps is going to get you a full fuel tank. So it's going to be close. I think we're having a delay in qualifying. Hope we can get some word on how they're doing and where they're at in it.
We're about to run out of filler material. Anyone got any jokes? Or you gotta... Here's your time to try your stand-up act.
There you go. I'm hearing that they are done with... hopefully they're done with qualifying. I'm hearing they're about ready to get started. Hopefully that means they're starting the race. I know they have a lot of things going on, so hopefully it's the race. I know Pro Boss is extremely busy out there, but here we go. So that must mean we are getting ready to go to Homestead Speedway and get ready to start this race. J-Mac, how pumped are you?
I am rather pumped. It looks like Jose has the pole with... Let's see. Let's look where our championship drivers are. The Bolt is starting 5th. Pro Boss is 7th. And where is Toaster? Toaster is 6th. So Jose, and then a gap a little bit. There's two. Ramset, Rocky Top, and Cappy Go Fast are there to break up everything a little bit.
Very, very close. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are going green for the Homestead Championship race. We have Jose on the pole. We have the two out there on the outside. Absolutely incredible start. These guys going too wide, several deep. Let's get a close-up of them. Jose, after an extremely strong race last week, coming back from a couple of seconds down, he won the race. Gets pole tonight, and it is looking for a very, very strong start for him.
These drivers are definitely veterans, so they're going to have a little bit of a different setup for qualifying, but one thing that tells me about Jose is he has a very good draft car. So even if he loses the lead, I imagine if he gets in the pack, he will still be a force to be reckoned with, and it'll be definitely fun to watch him back. But right now, he's in the catbird seat to not have to worry about going to the back.
I mean, you said it, J-Mac. Right now we're watching the 2-car. We see Rocky Top out there, and I'll tell you what, every time this guy has come out here, he brings a heck of a car, and it is no different tonight. This guy is out front, and he is showing that even he wants the win tonight. He is not going to let anyone get away with it. We have the 2-car going underneath Rocky Top and that 00. That is rammed it in that 2. He takes a second look and decides to hang back as he sits in 3rd. We have the 32 car getting back in line, a long single file line. I think these guys are going to be very, very careful and cautious on how they drive this tonight, J-Mac.
And it looks like you called it at least early here on new tires. These guys riding around about 2 lanes up and higher, trying to keep it in the middle. They're not going up too high, not going it too low. They're riding around the middle of that track right now. Probably just trying to feel out their cars, make sure that the racing setup is right where they want it to be. But a very clean start right now, and it's a perfect start so far for that 43 car.
Absolutely. We have the 32 who looks like he really likes the low line here. He is not taking this thing high up at all, but since he is not doing that, we have a lot of these guys passing him on the outside. We have Pro Boss in the 9. We have Wonder in that 14 who have just passed him. And now take a look at this. We have the 3 car Blue Baca getting ready to make a move. See if he can make a pass for another position. Very, very long line here, J-Mac. I mean, these guys are being very careful. We still have Jose quite secure out there in first. We have a nice little battle for second brewing up between the 2 and the 00. Let's take a look at these guys. You have the Bolt sitting here in fourth as he is looking at the battle. We have 2 cars making a move for second. Bolt looking a little loose coming off that turn, though.
Just a little bit low right on that seam, and yeah, it looked like that rear end kicked out on him a bit. But and this 43 car, he's not only holding these guys off, he's putting a little bit of a gap on them. And of course, as I say that, it looks like the 2 gonna draft up on his rear end. But for a second there, it looked like he was putting a little bit of a gap on him.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good out there, but Ramsett coming out of nowhere tonight. In that 2 car, I do believe that is Ramsett, but he is looking very, very strong. Homestead definitely agrees with him. He looks like he's getting ready to challenge the 43 of Jose, a championship contender. He wants this win out here tonight, but Jose, whoever wins tonight whoever crosses the line first. You don't have to win, obviously, if you're one of the championship guys. It's just whoever crosses the line first. So whoever does that will be the championship winner, but the 2 car is making it very, very challenging to get a race win here tonight. He is out here and he is riding that bottom. He's got some help out there as he is giving Jose a challenge on that inside.
2 car making that inside work. He's not quite down to the white line. Isn't been brave enough to flirt there, but he's about 2 car lengths up, or 2 car widths up in 1 and 2, about 1 car width off the line in 3 and 4, and he is making that line work. Meanwhile, the 2 championship contenders drafted together up top, and that's gonna kill his momentum here.
Man, 30 to go at the line in stage 1. It is already a lot of action. This 2 and the 43, these guys are looking so strong. 43 making that outside work. You know Jose, he loves the outside, and if he can make it work, he is going to. 2 is out there all alone on that inside line with most of the entire field on that high side. That just shows you a lot of these guys must have some loose cars in order to hang up out there. The 2 car looks pretty, he looks pretty confident on that low side, J-Mac.
He's slowly moving it down little by little. But look at who's entered the fray here. The 10 of Expert Toaster has worked himself up into the top 3, 4 here. He's in line with the other championship contenders. And meanwhile, Pro Boss, he has drafted that second group up here. He's been able to hold a steady line, get some help from those guys, and he's gotten some draft off of the 00, and now he has joined the fray here. So far, a pretty good race for all 4 of those drivers, and all 4 of them are well in contention here. In stage 1.
And look at Pro Boss just closing that gap around that last turn. We had Rocky Top in that 00 kissing that wall just a little bit, which allowed Pro Boss to dive down low. And here he is trying to contend for that position. He can't take it. He lost his help behind him. But man, he's going to continue to try, and he is really working that low side with Rocky Top on that outside.
I was a little worried that maybe this could potentially be a runaway for Jose. He qualified first. The other three, middle of the pack. I think the best one, next one, was in fifth. But these guys have quickly worked their way through the field, and right now you have your championship four runs 1, 2, 3, and Pro Boss is hanging on there in sixth.
Yeah, championship 3, right in the top spots, 1, 2, 3, like you said. You have Pro Boss making his way up there, and he is a man on a mission. I love this, J-Mac, because this is what we saw last week. We had Expert Toaster up there the entire race. Pro Boss already making his way up there. That is your championship 4, right in the top 6 spots. These guys are just going to battle it out for the entire race. I guarantee it. Jose looking extremely strong. But I'll tell you what, we have a lot of race left. And still a lot of laps before these guys pit. We already have a guy in the wall. Was that Toaster?
Gets loose. Toaster got loose and creamed the wall and just about took Ramsett with him, but did a nice job of staying off of him and mitigating the damage. But almost disastrous for Toaster.
Huge props to him for saving that. Rocky Top has some contact with Toaster, but I'll tell you what a fantastic save for Toaster after hitting that wall. Nobody really harmed in that. We have Pro Boss directly in front of him in that 9 car. 10, looking pretty good after some contact with the wall, but man, oh man. I thought we'd see a couple of cautions, not a couple of cautions, but I figured we'd see a caution by now, considering how loose this track is. You can see a couple of the guys getting really, really close to that wall, or their back end swinging out around these turns. But I'll tell you what, they're doing a great job out there holding on to it.
After getting the wall, you worry if Toaster maybe gets a little bit inside of his head, maybe starts overdriving it. The car's damaged, the balance has to be changed a little bit as hard as he hit the wall, but he's done a good job of settling down. Him and I believe Rocky Top had a little bit of contact, but since that moment, he's kept it straight, and now he's fighting back on the inside of that 2 car to try to take over 4th.
Yes, he is, and Pro Boss is on the move. We have Expert Toaster right behind him, the 2 car of Ramsett underneath them. I want to give a quick shout out to Ethan. What's up? I'm glad you're able to join tonight. Hope you're enjoying the race. Jacob Kerr from earlier says Dohar would have lost anyway. He would have saved enough gas somehow, he says. He was just joking around, but Dohar is definitely a gas saver, absolutely.
These front 2 have checked out, the 2 that we talked about being the stronger 2 of those 4 drivers that were remaining. We kind of saw this coming. We thought about it as a possibility, and right now that 43 and the 11, they have hooked up together and they have checked out on the rest of the field. That has to be a little worrying for that 9 car and for that 10 car to watch these guys pull away. But luckily, they've got some stages. They've got some stage breaks to work on their cars a little bit and maybe find a little more speed. Maybe they aren't driving it as hard as they need to, because right now, the end of the stage doesn't pay anything. It's the end of stage 3.
Yeah, so true. And with these 2 out there, you got Pro Boss and you have Expert Toaster, who are they have a ton of support behind them. So right now they just need to close that gap and gain up to these guys, and they're doing a heck of a job. But that 43 and 11, they are on fire tonight, and it's exactly what we were expecting. We have a battle for the lead here. We have the 11 going underneath Jose and that 43. 11 is going to give 43 quite a challenge on that inside as he goes for the lead. We have 11 on the inside. He is just a little bit of a lead. He is going to be your new leader as they are battling side by side. Absolutely incredible race. But I'll tell you what, J-Mac, that is going to allow these guys behind them to catch up and close that gap. We have a new leader. That is the 11.
Well, it would have if they weren't 3 wide. if they weren't working on 3 wide for 3rd.
Man, oh man. Yeah.
Ooh, that was a save on Toaster's part. He got into the back bumper of the 9 car of Pro Boss and was sideways in the middle of 3 wide. Did an excellent job of holding on to it, not getting into anybody, but he just lost a fair amount of track position. but he's fighting back on that inside.
He is fighting back side by side with Rocky Top in that 00. Man, it is starting to look like a couple of these guys are getting pretty loose around the track. Meanwhile, those front two guys, they are just checking out. We have the 10 car, who is 2 cars behind 9 of AKA Pro Boss. The number 2 car of Ramsit is pushing 9. But we have a lot of these guys in the field that are really wanting that win tonight. Championship race or not, they're going to fight for it. And you can see it going on here. But those top 2 guys, they are just looking to check out and hopefully get a nice lead before the pit cycle happens. We are
Pro Boss running
15
a
to
relatively...
go.
Sorry, Frozen. The Pro Boss running a really interesting line right now. It looks like he's diving it in low, very low on entry, all the way to the white line and letting the banking kind of catch him. I wonder if he's running that sort of line. I wonder if his car might be a little bit too tight. It looked like he just got a little loose running it there. Or he might be coming into the pits.
I don't know if he's going into pits, but it sure does look like it. Yeah, the 9 I'm hearing over the radio is going into pit. You know what? If I were him, I'd be doing the same thing. There is no need to stay out super long. I mean, there's different strategies. We're going to see a lot of different strategies. We have the 10 car going in directly behind him. Great call on their part to go in together. You need to work together. This is a draft track. Why not work together and come back out and try to catch these top 2 guys? They're going to come out with faster lap times than the 11 and the 43. They have the fresh tires, full fuel. They're going to have better lap times than these top 2 guys until they go in.
And it's also worth wondering if the 10 has enough damage from that contact with the wall earlier to fix. I don't imagine, but this would be an opportunity to fix it. Both of these guys have very conservative pit road entries, it looked like, and going to be interesting to see if maybe they lost some time there, but also this is a point in the race where you do not want a speeding penalty, and right now the 11 and the 43 have this stage under control anyway, so might as well just take it easy, make sure you don't make a mistake, and live to fight another day.
The 11 and the 43 saw Pro Boss and Expert Toaster go in. They made the call to come in also. 43 before the 11, so they are going to be split up. Now let's see. I do believe Pro Boss 2 cars behind the 10 car. So we see Jose coming out of pit road at the moment. They're going to be, if that was Jose, they're going to be a little bit behind the 10 car. But a couple of guys are mixed up here as we head into pit cycles here. But man, the 10 and 9 making some runs as they are on those fresh tires. They're going to have those better lap times. Let's go find our leaders. We have the 00 in the 3. That is Rocky Top in the 00. Blue Baka in the 3. These guys have chosen to stay out. Rocky Top in that 00 is your current leader at the moment. You see not a lot of people behind him as most people are going into pit road. But those leaders were definitely the first one to go in. It's going to be interesting how that all pans out after pit cycles and how where Jose, the Bolt, Expert Toaster, and Pro Boss, where are they going to be once it all settles?
Jose was able to beat the 11 of the Bolt off of pit road, so that will cycle through to your leaders once everyone has pitted. But they have a huge lead on the second place car, and I imagine that since they are together drafting, that will only get bigger.
Absolutely. I'm hearing that the 00 and the 3, your current leaders, they are on pit road. You see this 43 of Jose and the 11 of the Bolt back together once again, drafting. Man, these two are quite the pair, and they are doing really well working together, so it is only going to help them. I'll tell you what, I gotta give props to Pro Boss and Expert Toaster. Great pit strategy call on their part. This is a place where I feel like splitting the race in half is a great maneuver. So their pit strategy really worked out for them.
Just a a side note, it would say it's nice to see the 00 and the 3 carry on the tradition of at least one car staying out way longer than everyone else. So without Dohar in the field, we needed somebody to fill those shoes, and big props to them for doing that for us.
So true. Dohar is usually one of the last to go in. I mean, you could have the entire draft crew together, and he would be the only one to stay out. Everyone else is going in. They want to keep that draft, and Dohar's like, nope, I'm staying out. I'm going to do my own thing, and it usually works out for him.
Speaking of something that's working out for him, the 11 and the 43 have hooked up, and they have about a half a straightaway. I have a little more than a half a straightaway on the second place car. These two drivers are flexing their muscles, and right now it looks like the race is between these two guys.
It sure does, J-Mac. And 7 to go for stage 1, and these guys have just checked out. The pit strategy for these guys have obviously worked out. 43 and the 11 working together. Stage points at this point does not matter. It's just whoever crosses the line. But if Jose can hang on to the lead, it would be some fantastic stage points. But this guy is just a ton of momentum since the win at Chicagoland. Coming into this race as the winner from Chicagoland, and he got pole tonight in the lead. He's got the car to beat tonight, along with the Bolt.
He does, but it looks like the Bolt a little better than him on the long run, and we've seen that mostly all year. The Bolt really does a good job of setting up his cars for the longer run, and right now his car seems to be a little better. It was a little better at the end of that first run before that first cycle of pit stops, and right now it looks like he's maybe just a touch faster. The draft can be a little deceiving of that as he pushes up behind the 43 car, but right now this is looking like it's going to be a very fun battle for the stage. I wonder if these guys get a little too into battling each other and maybe make a mistake that opens up the door for Pro Boss and Toaster here racing for a stage win.
You know what? A stage win, for me, I'm going for the finish here. I would say to myself, if Jose wants it, by all means, take it. I just want to stay behind him as we hit 3 to go for stage 1. Let him take it. You want to keep your car clean, and we've talked about it all season. If you damage that car, you have to go and repair it, and you're gonna be at least 2/10 off of the rest of the field who has a clean car. For me, it's not worth it. Maybe the 11 wants the stage win, but he looks pretty comfortable sitting right behind him. There's no need to rush it right now. We're only in stage 1, plenty of race left to be had.
It always is nice when you're battling somebody else for a championship here, to get that win on them, to pass them there with 1 to go, 2 to go, and to beat them to that stage and just flex that muscle and to show, hey, look, I have a better car than you. And I think that's what the 11 car is wanting to do. He's working to the inside of that 43 car. He wants to win this stage.
He sure does, man. He is making a liar out of me right now. Look at him diving underneath the 43 car of Jose. Side by side, they are going into the turn here. Man, 11 is going to really have to hold on to it. This is the final lap for stage 1. The 11 wants this. He is hungry. Man, he's got the lead right now. Who is going to make it into the final turn here, go into the finish line? Stage 1 has been absolutely exciting. 11 takes over the lead. Jose is going to be back behind. Will he give him a challenge? Looks like he's given him a little bit of a nudge, but we have the 11 as the winner for stage 1.
Bolt there and might have stuck his nose in there had this been the final lap of the race, but he got to the bumper, let up a little bit, and instead it looked like he was content to let the Bolt win there. But a very impressive pass by the Bolt there, flexing a little muscle and showing he might be the driver to beat tonight.
That's very true. I mean, the top 4 guys here are super strong. These top 2 of 11 and 43 I mean, they are the dominating cars tonight. Cream of the crop. We'll see what they can do for stage 2, but stage 1, how exciting, and not even a single caution. Metal Rules, Rangers, Savage, what's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are enjoying the race. These guys are going for the championship. This is it. 18, I think this is 18 races. It's been absolutely incredible season. I've had a blast with it, but here they go to start stage 2. Let's take a look. We have 11 on the inside, 43 on the outside. Let's see if they can have a great start like they did for stage 1. We see a car going by the inside wall. He's going to go back to the back. You see the Napa Know-How car of 9 of Pro Boss directly behind the 43 on the outside, along with Toaster. 43 kissing that wall a little bit, J-Mac.
Yeah, not a great restart there for Jose, stuck on the outside. Pretty much all of these mile and a half, pretty much every track in the game, honestly, on these restarts, you want to have that bottom line. It's so hard to maintain on the top line. You need draft help. You need to have an absolutely dominant car, and you need to have other dominant cars with you. And Jose didn't have that benefit, but he was able to hold off Pro Boss and the rest of the field there and fall in line in third, and now he's going to go after that 2 car.
Absolutely, and that 2 car is very strong tonight. We saw him fall off a little bit for stage 1 and the end of it, but at the beginning, he's got a very, very strong car, and he is always challenging those leaders. Man, oh man, when we were looking at that screen, I don't know if you saw that, J-Mac, but that looked like there was a driver extremely loose towards the front. Looks like everything is okay now, but man, we're going to have to keep an eye on that.
And we say Ramsett fell off a little bit. He finished third, and he pulled away from pretty much the rest of the field. But those front 2 were able to pull off so far away. And but now that he has their draft again, it's sort of a new lease on life, and he's going to go up there and mix it up with these guys. The issue is that he has to be so careful. These guys are racing for a championship. He's racing for a race win, and he made just a little bit of contact. Got a little tight on the exit there, it looked like.
Yeah, he sure did. Made a little bit of contact with 11 on the quarter panel. 11 did not seem affected by that, but it did check up Jose and Pro Boss, who is swerving a little bit back there. I think a lot of movement is happening, and man, making me nervous. Let's get to see if we can go find where that 10 car is. He is, it looks like, currently 6th place at the moment. We saw him around that point for stage 1, and then he made his way up there. Pro Boss currently 4th, top 6 again for the championship 4.
Ramsett's car, we have 3 wide right now for second place. Pro Boss thinks better of it and gets back in line. But I was about to say about that 2 car of Ramsett, he fires off and has a lot of speed early in the run, but it doesn't really take long for it to seem like his car fades just a little bit. Jose is struggling though right now to get around him, but I don't think Jose is overly thrilled with his car right now, which that could be a bad thing, because if he can get it figured out, he's already one of the fastest cars in the field. If he gets this thing figured out, that could spell doom for the rest of this field.
It's so true. And you heard Toaster talk about it earlier. The one thing he does not want to hear tonight is Toaster down low. Speaking of Jose, because he is strong. He's always bringing a strong car out here. And he is always letting everyone know. I mean, he is one of those that he's very patient. And he can take a lot. He's been in a lot of wrecks. A lot of them no fault of his own. But I'll tell you what, when you let him get out front, you need to watch it, because this guy, once he is out front, he is usually gone. And tonight he's got a great car. It may not be running exactly how he wants tonight. Homestead is just one of those tracks. They are super hard to get a handle on, and there's so many different ways you can drive this. But I'll tell you what, when I'm at Homestead, I have a little extra grip going on the steering wheel, because it's just one of those tracks where it can get away from you very, very quickly.
And speaking of the handling, the 43, it looks like he's closing in, but that 11 car is staying a little lower a little longer through the corners, especially in 3 and 4. So, and as I say that, of course, he pushes up the track and is about to get the wall. So, but those past couple of laps, the 11 car was doing a little better holding his line, but the 43 using that draft to get up to him. And Jose might be working that outside line. Maybe he's trying to work that in a bit and figure it out. We know he loves working that outside line if it's a place that it works. So he's going to try to see if he can get that figured out right now. And right now is a good chance. He doesn't have a lot of pressure out back, and he's got the car that it looks like he has to beat tonight in front of him. So this is a good place to kind of see, how is my car doing? If I run different lines, how does that work in relation to that 11 car? And this is good. This is a good opportunity to go to school a little bit.
You know, that 11 car has been strong all season. Both these top 2 guys, they both have 3 wins. So incredible racing for these drivers. Whoever crosses the line first, though, tonight, they are the championship winner, and it is anyone's guess who is going to get it. These two have been battling it out all night so far. We're only on stage 2, so there's a lot of racing left. But if anyone is going to battle it out, it's going to be these two, and you have Pro Boss right behind him in third, just waiting to knock on the door of these two and take over first. He's hungry for it. He's just waiting for his opportunity as we hit 25 to go at the line.
This is a very impressive stage out of Pro Boss. We're going to have to see if he can maybe hang with these guys through the pit cycle. He's going to have to be a lot more aggressive on his pit road entry, I feel like, and he's going to have to get a little bit of luck from the RNG gods on the pit stop time. But definitely seems to be a little faster, maybe being a little more aggressive and having a little more luck. But that 9 car is looking like it might be a contender tonight.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he told me before the race, I got something up my sleeve. You just watch. So, Pro Boss is definitely not disappointing. This guy has definitely got something up his sleeve. Guys, I think we have a caution.
We got the 99 is a nose first in the front stretch the front stretch wall. The 00 was really slow. He might have been involved in that, but it didn't look like that involved any of our championship contenders, I don't believe.
Which is a good thing. We've talked about it before. Once you get that damage, you have to repair it. It will make your car slower. That is the last thing that these guys want to do. They want to keep that car clean. You heard it from these drivers during the interviews. They just want to keep it clean and get out there and get all the positions they can. Once that damage hits, your race is pretty much over if everyone else is clean. So they have to keep it. We'll see what they can do.
And to your point, that 10 car had lost that front pack a bit. It could always be, luck of the draw. Maybe he was in a bad spot and had to work his way through a bunch of cars. But it's worth noting he did hit the wall hard a little bit earlier in the race. And he was the one of the championship 4 who was not in that lead pack.
Everybody but the 32 has pit. I don't know if it was on purpose, but 32 of Cappy Go Fast. He's going to have a lot of anxious drivers behind him as he is on older tires. You have Jose, a championship driver, directly behind him. You can see these guys. We have a guy into the wall, tries to keep it there to let everyone go by. Looks like they are pretty well unscathed. But man, close call on that. We have the 43 out in the lead now. Cappy Go Fast falls back. 11 on the outside. Pro Boss in the mix. We have 2 on the bottom of Ramsit. These guys are back in action, J-Mac.
And that actually worked out perfectly for Jose. That put him on the bottom. The 32 car, when you're not up to speed, the tires don't really affect that car too badly. Don't affect the speed of it too terribly. So he was able to keep his speed up. And then in 3 and 4, the 32 slid up the track, and I thought he would be a pick for the 11. But then the Bolt made it a very aggressive move to take it 3 wide in the middle. A very good pass, a very bold move at Meyer, the 32 back in the pack. But right now, Jose was the big beneficiary, and he's working the draft like he's at a plate track.
Absolutely, and you have that 2 car and the 11 battling side by side back there, which is definitely hurting the 11 car as they are still battling side by side for third place. You have Pro Boss out there in second place, directly behind Jose. But man, that 2 car is giving them a challenge tonight.
He is, but the 11 looks maybe a little bit looser on this run. He's looked a little skatier these past couple of corners. Who does not look skatier is that 9 car. Pro Boss is working the 43. He wants the lead.
We got another guy into the wall, but let's take a battle. Look at this battle for the lead. We have Pro Boss underneath Jose in that 43. Man, Pro Boss is just absolutely hungry for it tonight. He decides to hang back. He's going to try it again, I guarantee it. But it's going to be a heck of a battle between these guys. You have the 11 creeping back up, closing that gap as he currently sits in third. And J-Mac, is that Expert Toaster in fourth, or is that somebody else? There goes 9 diving down.
I believe that is Expert Toaster.
Here he comes back up, a 9 car trying to dive down underneath Jose to go for the lead. They get a little bit scrunched up with the Bolt in that 11. He stays back.
Pro Boss just cleared himself in front of the 11 car and go the Bolt. I keep wanting to call him Go Bolt, and I don't really know why. But the Bolt gave the 9 a little bit of a shot. I don't know if that's to help him or maybe to say don't clear yourself on me next time. But those two racing really hard. The 9 car finally gets a really good run there, hooking the bottom lane. But all of that draft and that run off the top, Jose's able to clear him again. But it looks like Pro Boss starting to work that bottom line as he slides up in the next corner. It's just every time I say something, the opposite thing happens the next corner.
Well, you got the king of the high line as your current leader, and this guy is just working that high side. He is now, as soon as I say that, he's down low, but I'll tell you what, you get a heck of a run coming off the turns when you stay on that high side. And Pro Boss, he would really have to make a huge move on that low side to make it past Jose there. He is just too strong on that high side. I do want to give a quick shout out to Maybe It's Gravy. Thank you so much for the cheers out there. I appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the race. It is a heck of a race out there.
The 4 championship contenders are your top 4 right now. That's what you ask for out of one of these races. The 2 of Ramsett hanging on. He still wants to play spoiler here, but this top 5 is looking really strong to steal words from you a little bit. And these guys are just looking really good, and that's what you want. If you're one of the top 4, if you have a chance at a championship, you got to be at the front. You got to race at the front. You got to figure out what you got to do to beat those guys at the front. And now they're getting to work on that.
And that's what they're doing. Those top 4 championship guys are out. Top 4 spots, we have Pro Boss once again going on that low side, trying to make a move for the lead. Can't pull it off. I mean, I'll give him an A for effort here, but Jose is just rocking that outside. This guy is amazing out there, and he's giving him quite a challenge as we have the Bolt moving in for second with Pro Boss stuck on the inside. I'm not sure that's going to be good for him. These guys are going to battle it out for second now.
Jose is giving that draft to Pro Boss. Pro Boss is sending it into the corners, and that's hurting his entry a little bit whenever he's racing with Jose. But when Jose has him clear, he's driving down and pulling Pro Boss to keep him alongside of the 11 and to force them to race each other. It's really smart usage of the draft by Jose, and I worry if Pro Boss might be overdriving his car a little bit, or maybe he's learning. That's the other side of it. You got to figure out what you might need there to make that pass on the bottom. I'm getting flashbacks to Las Vegas when Jose, racing for second, he was able to hold off pretty much the entire field, running around in that outside line the whole time. No one could get around him, and that's what it's looking like right now.
We are 9 to go for stage 2. Look at this race. Every last championship contender right here. You're looking at it, guys. You can't get any more exciting than this. These guys have done a heck of a job racing tonight. I mean, it is so close. You have the Bolt and Proboss just driving their car off just to get for second place. You have Jose in first trying to defend it, but man, I'll tell you what, the guys behind him, these guys are all hungry for the win, and stage 2 points, they don't matter, but it's every single thing matters to these guys. They want to be out front. They want to know that they can do it. They want that confidence boost to say, hey, I have a stage win, I can do this, and they're all going for it.
And that's the thing, Frozen, you don't learn anything by riding around, and Proboss gets really tight. That was some close racing there with him in the 11. I was worried they were going to put each other in the wall, but Proboss does a good job of staying off of him. But this is where you learn your limits, where you learn this is how you learn the limits of your car, and especially you learn them in relation to the other drivers that you're having to beat. And so these guys are working really hard. It looks like they're racing really hard, and I think this is just to learn and to know what they have to do for that final stage, what adjustments they might have to make during that final stage break to have the race-winning car, to have the championship-winning car.
The 9 car just diving it down, a little bit of contact with that 43. Will he be able to pull it off and take over that lead? It's going to be close. He tucks back in behind Jose in that 43, but man, what a race. It is going to be super close here. 5 to go at the line. These guys are single file, but I guarantee Proboss is going to make another move for that lead. This guy is hungry. I mean, it's no joke. We saw a fire under him last race, and he brought that thing times 3 for this one.
God, he just keeps sliding up off the corner, and I keep worrying that one of these times that 11 car is going to be there, and they're going to make contact. But just such close racing, such great racing between these 5 guys up here.
We're on board with the Bolt, who has a huge run on the outside, right behind Jose. He's side by side with the 9 car of Proboss, who's getting a nice little move into the turn here and out of it. He's not going to have enough. I mean, Jose is just way too strong on that outside. I gotta call him the king of the high side here.
The guy you really have to watch here is the Bolt, because if he's given a lane with a run to take it to, if he has a run and he has a lane to take it to, he's going to do it. That guy is shown time and time again that he is very aggressive, and he's gonna try to clear that 9 car, and if he does get clear of that 9 car, that 43 car is going to have something to is going to have an extra hard fight on his hands, because right now the 9 of Proboss is giving him all he can handle.
He sure is. 2 to go at the line, and I'll tell you what, I think the Bolt is getting very anxious. He is wanting past that 9, and that 9 is wanting to take the lead. He is trying once again for the lead, and what an incredibly clean race. The battle to the front here is absolutely incredible, but this battle for the lead, they are trying all they can. Like you said, we have Jose out front, and he is doing a heck of a job out there, but that 11, he is not happy where he is. This guy wants the lead. He is just in a place where Proboss is trying to make the moves, and all he can do is just hang out for right now. But if there is a lane that's going to open up, you guarantee that he is going to take it.
Proboss is coming. I am impressed with how deep he is able to charge into turn 1. It is crazy how much further he gets into the corner than the 43 car. And
Finish
it's
of the
very
stage.
impressive that they haven't made contact.
Wow, incredible for stage 2 there. Jose took it once again, but man, props to Proboss and the 11 of the Bolt. Absolutely incredible race to these guys. If you don't like this race, you're crazy. This is absolutely incredible. These guys are doing a heck of a job out there. I can't wait to see what the final part of this race brings, J-Mac. It's insane.
Well, Pro Boss is definitely going lower than anyone. He can charge into one so far. Uh, it wasn't quite enough to get around Jose, but you have to wonder if maybe Jose didn't have the help from the 11, at which the 11, I don't think he was trying to. He just was boxed in that entire run there by the 9 and the 43 racing side by side. But you're right, Frozen. That was incredible racing between these three guys.
And this is at one of the hardest tracks as far as handling goes for your car. We are starting stage 3, guys, the final part of the race here. We have 43 on the inside. You got Pro Boss, who has been just extremely strong. He is on that outside. These guys are looking pretty good. We have the Bolt in the 11 directly behind Jose. That 2 car, which has made his presence known, he is directly behind him. Let's take a look. Yeah, we have the 10 car directly behind Pro Boss, but a fantastic start to Jose already.
This is where if you're Pro Boss, you don't want to get in any trouble. You're on that outside lane. You're going to move back a few rows here before things start to get strung out. So you don't want to put yourself in a bad position. You want to be careful who you're racing around. And that 11 car a little darty off the exit.
Yeah. I don't know if the 11 and the 2 had some contact. I saw the 2 dive down low, the 11 go up high, but they're all safe and sound for now. But close call. And I'll tell you what, this race has been incredibly clean considering what track we're at.
Only one non-stage brake caution. So knock on wood, these guys have done an excellent job of staying off of each other and keeping her clean. And as we say that, there is a car spinning through the infield in 3 and 4. But
you know what? He kept it off track. Yeah, he kept it off track, kept it clean. These guys are still going green for racing, but man, what an incredible race. I want to give a shout out to John and Rangers. Thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're enjoying this race. I'm so pumped for this race tonight. I cannot wait to see how this finishes out, who we're going to crown as a champion for the AKA Cup Series League here. But I'm also sad. This is going to be a break for a little bit. They will be back for the fall schedule, another season for them, but it's been a heck of a season so far, and what a finish to it. These guys have to be so proud of themselves for how they've raced this entire season.
They absolutely do, and they have to be proud for how they've raced tonight, because this has been an excellent race. A lot of side-by-side action, and now the stakes are getting higher and higher, and we're here. It's the final stage of the season, and your championship 4 are running 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, you said it, J-Mac. The championship 4 are the top 4. You can't get any better than that. Tedeschi, what's up? He says, just landed in Charlotte. Now he's on to Indy. I hope you have a safe trip. Hope you had fun out there. I know we're missing you out here. This guy is another one. We have Toaster, a little loose coming off that turn there. Very, very close. This guy's had a couple of close calls, manages to get it back together. But man, oh man, that just shows you what a wheelman he is. Doing a great job.
Yeah, that thing is definitely ill handling. He might have made an adjustment to counter the damage he took from hitting the wall earlier, and maybe the car's not taking a liking to it here on the short run, but he was able to hold on to it, and now he's got the unenviable job of tracking down these front 3 drivers.
You know, and those front 3 are starting to get away from the rest of the field. Last time we had about the top 5 to top 6 getting away. Not so fast this time, but we'll see what happens. We have Jose in first. We have the Bolt in second in that 11 car. Pro Boss in third. Expert Toaster hanging on to fourth at the moment, but he's got the 2 car of Ramsett directly on him, just challenging for those top spots there.
I tell you what, Frozen, that 9 car of Pro Boss has come to life. He is all over the 11 right now of the Bolt. And that car is looking really, really strong as he makes it to the inside. And we're back where we were last stage now. Pro Boss gets really tight on entry. He gets into the 11. Bolt makes a heck of a save, but he loses a ton. He loses a ton of ground there as Pro Boss gets into him on entry.
Yeah, I think Pro Boss got a little tight there. Going into entry, they made some contact, and the Bolt falls back. I know he's got to be a little bit frustrated with that, but the 9 car, that car that he has brought here tonight, absolutely incredible. He is just on the heels of our leader, Jose, in that 43 car, letting him know that he is there. This is the final part of the race, guys. No more stages. This is it. We have a pit stop to get through, but once that happens, if we stay green, they just have to bring the best car that they have.
If this thing stays green, it'll be interesting to see how this race plays out. Previously, when they were battling the 43 of Jose, he had that 11 car trapped on the outside with him to help push him down the straightaways and help keep him clear of that 9 car. Unless that 10 car of Expert Toaster can get up there, he's not going to have that. Will that help Pro Boss? Will that give him the extra advantage he needs here on the long run? Because on that long run, Pro Boss uses that bottom so well, and he charges the corners so deep. You have to imagine that a slide job is coming, and that it would be way easier to pull off without a whole nother car pushing that 43 car down the straightaways.
It's so true. And these guys are really close together. Let me see if I can find the 11 car where he ended up. Trying to find cars on this are really, really hard. Yeah, we see him right here. He is getting into the wall. His car is not handling the way he wants. The Bolt has to be extremely frustrated as he has ran out in the top 2 to 3 the entire night. He's still hanging on here, but he really has to get his car moving to catch back up to this front pack here.
And speaking of that front pack, there is a battle for the lead brewing up here. Pro Boss got alongside him. I thought he might be able to clear him, but Jose fights back so well on that outside line.
He sure does. The king of the high side here, man, Pro Boss is just challenging him on that low line, trying to make it work, but the momentum that Jose has, it is just really hard to beat that. And you can see it here. Pro Boss is just giving it all.
Ooh.
He has huge, man. I don't know if he had some contact, but he is into the wall. That's going to bring out a caution.
If I had a guess, I would think that maybe the 43, maybe a little bit of a tail whip on him. It didn't look like there was any contact. It just looked like the 9 car maybe got into the 43, and then there was a gap between them, and then suddenly the 9 took off. So I'm wondering if that's one of those weird kind of NASCAR Heat 3 things where the car is doing a little different thing on other people's screens, and I would imagine the 43 might have tail whipped him just a little bit there. But man, that was shaping up to be a big finish between those two. A huge break for the 11 car, but man,
yeah,
that is just absolutely disastrous for that 9 of Pro Boss.
Mike RPM, thank you so much for the follow. We're getting to green flag racing once again. I believe we have 34 laps to go. I'll have to double check that, but we're coming down to the wire here where they are going to have to pit pretty soon. The question though, J-Mac, is Pro Boss going to have some damage as he hits the apron and off into the grass? Did he hit that barrier? If he did, that is going to put a lot of damage on his car, and just as fast as we were saying,
it looks like
strong.
he did.
Yeah, I do.
It looks like
believe
there's
he
a
hit
little
that.
damage on that left front. Just
huge,
trying to push it
huge
there on the
pile up
inside.
in the midfield, J-Mac.
Oh,
that is
gosh.
definitely going to bring out the caution there. Caution is
Well,
out.
this is the
Yeah.
this race's complexion has entirely changed with that one wreck. But yeah, it looked like, God, I don't know if Pro Boss got the apron. I would assume he did, because it's maybe he just got loose there on the inside. But man, just this race just took a massive nosedive for that 9 car. But
It sure did.
right now, Expert, who is I guess that's just the way they shoveled out with the yellow and everybody weaving around. But right now, you're I guess Jose is still the leader, but Your front three are your still championship contenders.
Yeah, absolutely.
That we know, maybe.
I'm hoping that we're not going to see a lot of lag here. It looked a little laggy there. We'll see how it starts off as we get back to green. But man, that is our third caution of the night, 2 right in a row. Let's hope they can clear things up. We have the 11 directly behind the 43, the 10 on the outside of Expert Toaster. Proboss has obviously fallen back. Let's see if we can get a grip on where he is in the field. 11 looks very, very loose. They are shuffling around J-Mac. Very scary for that 11.
And this is what we talked about earlier when Toaster got the wall. He needed to just mitigate the damage. He needed to calm his head and get back into the game. The 9 car got in a wreck with the 43. Damaged his car. The next restart,
Oh,
he aprons it in the first corner, and then he gets into some more cars right there. He just needs to calm down, calm his head down, and get back in the race. Even though he's damaged, he still has a car capable of winning this thing with a little bit of luck. So he's gotta work.
30 to go
He's
when
gotta
we hit the
navigate
line.
this traffic incident free.
Yeah, and the caution has not come out. That's going to be disastrous for his race. You have the top 3 are championship drivers. If Proboss, no caution out for him. If he is back there, it's going to be extremely hard for him to catch back up at this point.
We have a new play. Well, not a new player, but we have a player from earlier in the race that we haven't talked about in a long time. But Rocky Top up here in the top 4, he's now our spoiler as the number 2 of Ramset. He's had a bit of bad luck, but it looks like, oh, and speaking of which, him and the 41 made contact. Massive pile up. Proboss able to dodge that one. That one happened right in front of him.
We're getting into the cautions, breeding cautions. I went back here and I was with the 2 car. He was swerving back and forth. A lot of guys getting loose, stacked everybody up. And here you have the outcome. They need to get it figured out, though. You do not want to finish a race like this. A lot of guys are going to start to get frustrated. Jose, those top 4 guys, they really have strong cars. Boss needs to get back up there. Fix whatever is going on with his car, because he's got a really strong car tonight that can contend for a win. This is for the championship, though. Pretty crazy.
This is really crazy, but the laps have got to be starting to wind down now, and you can definitely tell that everyone's tensing up just a little bit, and a very interesting strategy play. All of our championship 4, except for the Bolt, are mired in the field now.
Let's take a look at these top guys once again. Jose going back just a little bit through strategy with these guys. I don't know if a couple of guys stayed out, but you have 11 on that high side on the front row. Let's take a look at him. Blue Baka on the inside. You have the 99 up there. Proboss makes his way back up there. Let's see if he can calm things down a little bit as he's got a car going right up into him. Yeah, that's tough.
Ooh, the 99 just walled him.
Very,
Jose
very
has
tough.
to go 3 wide with the 19 on the bottom, and there is a massive pileup in the back.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, we're gonna bring out, looks like yet another caution. No, we don't want it to end like this. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. J-Mac, after an incredible
I will not
stage
go.
1 and 2.
Turn the lights out.
After an incredible stage 1 and 2, this is not how you want it to end. Championship race here. Let's clean it up. Let's get some patience out here and get this moving.
And a lot of this is involving guys that are not in that championship race. They're just racing for positions. They're racing for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th on back. But a lot of these guys have been damaged now, and they're trying to fix their cars, make them handle better, and that sometimes you can compound your issues. You can create new issues by trying to fix it on pit road. So, yeah, everyone's just going to need to be patient here as we head to another restart. And what will be our last restart.
Let's hope. Let's hope it is. We have the 43 directly behind the Bolt and the 11. Blue Baka on the outside. Falls back quickly back there. This inside line just moving. Let's see if they can hold it out. We have the 9. Your top 3 are championship drivers. You see Expert Toaster mid-pack there. 43 and 11 going side by side for the current lead. Who is going to be able to make it there?
They're on the opposite sides of where I think they want to be. I think the 11 a lot happier down low, the 43 a lot happier up in that second lane. But they're on the opposite sides right now. And Jose looking to make that pass.
It's going to be close. And you have Jose. These guys are opposite. The 11 is usually on the inside. You have the 43 usually on the outside. They have switched positions. 43 has moved back up. 20 to go at the line. Man, crazy. The 11 is going in for another turn, trying to make a move for first. He is on the inside. Oh, we'll see what can happen, J-Mac. The 11 has a little bit of a lead going in there, but man, I'll tell you what, Jose on that outside, strong once again.
That 11 car was the only one that has been able to pass Jose, but if we go back and remember, I think Jose got a little bit loose when that happened, and he wasn't able to fight off the 11 quite as much back in stage 1. Right now, Jose running an excellent race, putting his car exactly where he wants it. Just about 3 lanes up the track, 3 car widths up, and God, he's going to be so hard to pass.
He is. It's going to be extremely difficult. If anyone can do it, the Bolt would be one to do it. He makes every win that he has very, very interesting. But look who is in third after a very, very tough start to this final part of the race. We have Pro Boss moving back up as he is trying to make it too wide for second. Currently still in third, but I'll tell you what, he is knocking on the door of the Bolt, trying to make his way back up there. I'm hearing over the radio, Expert Toaster making his move up there. He is on the inside. You see him back there in 6. He's trying to come back up here and make himself known, J-Mac.
He's hanging on to that front group by a thread right now. Everyone's starting to get a little straightened out. Pro Boss struggling with that damage, which has been fixed by now, but still is hindering him just a little bit. He's struggling to hold on to these front 2. This is looking like it's going to be a 2-man battle. If they get side by side, that'll let that 9 car back in there. I don't know if he'll be able to charge those corners like he has been, but we've got to fight for the lead about to start up.
We do have a fight for the lead. Let's see if we can make our way back up there. Pro Boss in third. Expert Toaster, he was back there just trying to make it all work, trying to get past Blue Baka and Wonder in that 14. But man, oh man, there is a battle for the lead brewing up here. 11 has the momentum going into the turn, but 43 is going to beat him off the end of it. Incredible battle here.
And he pulls up in front of the 9 of Pro Boss, which is a mirror of kind of what had been happened earlier in the race. And Pro Boss with an awesome slide job, and Bolt has nothing to do except to just fall in line right there. Fun little sequence there between those 2 guys.
Absolutely. He tucks back in. It looks like the Bolt is trying to set up to make another pass. And meanwhile, while these guys are battling it out, we got the leader who is trying to keep them out of the draft with 14 to go. He brings it back up the track. That entrance into the turn is going to hurt him just a little bit. Hopefully he doesn't do that too many times, but he is trying to keep them out of the draft. He wants that lead, and he wants to keep them out of there.
Yeah, a little bit of breaking the draft is good, but when you start getting real aggressive with it, it can almost cause more issues than it breaks the draft. So, especially at a place like this where the car is really loose, you jerk it up high and then try to turn it back into the corner. That back end can kick out on you. But Jose is doing an excellent job of holding on to that car and keeping these guys at bay.
Absolutely. And what Jose needs is to have Pro Boss and the 11 of Lucky. What is going on back here? Expert Toaster, extremely loose, manages to save it once again. Man, This guy and his saves tonight, absolutely incredible. Great job to him for that.
Pro Boss put a massive block on the Bolt, and the 11 pulled off a massive slide job on him to return the favor, and the Bolt back up into second right now, and I think that's the car that Jose doesn't want to see. That 9 car looks so good, but after that little sequence he had, I think it just doesn't. I can't imagine it has the speed in it that it used to have, but right now, I think that is the car that Jose has to worry about, is that 11 car. But as long as he has the draft, that 9 car of Pro Boss is still hanging in there really, really tough.
Yeah, and you just see Jose really trying to break that draft. He's doing everything he can to keep that lead. This is for the championship, guys. We're coming down on the final several laps here. And you see Pro Boss trying to take a peek on the inside of the Bolt, and that's exactly what Jose needs. He needs these guys to battle it out every single lap. I mean, all 3 of them are going for the championship race, so whoever crosses the line, they're the championship winner.
Well, every time they get side by side, they make contact. That last time,
They
the
do.
11 of the Bolt pinched that 9 car really, really hard in the corner, and then there have been a couple of times where the 9 has slid up into the 11 a little bit. These guys racing each other is one thing, but they're not only racing each other, they're beating each other up, and that's just slowing themselves down even more. But as we say that, it looks like they are reeling in that 43 car a little bit.
They are closing that gap, and look at the 14 of Wonder making his way into the top 4 here. You have Blue Baca in the top 5. These guys doing a great job. Man, Wonder making a run out here, but those top 3, this is where the real battle is for the final laps here. We're gonna crown a championship. Man, 8 to go, J-Mac. It's coming down to the final laps here, and I am on the edge of my seat. Can the Bolt make a move and pass Jose for the win here and for the championship? They are definitely catching him. That's what they need to do. The 9 and the 11 need to just hang off each other, catch up to him, and then make their moves, and that's exactly what they're doing, unfortunately, for Jose.
He is catching him, and there's the old cliche, catching him is one thing, passing is another, but I think the 11 car's gloves are off at this point. I don't think he'll shy away from a little bit of contact if he gets down there. He hasn't before, and I don't think he will tonight.
Yeah, you can see he has closed the gap. The Bolt is there, knocking on his door, giving him a challenge. It's going to be very, very close. These top 4 guys are on top of each other. Expert Toaster, he's got a lot of room to make up if he wants to compete for this championship win here tonight. But these top 4 guys are making it a real battle out here.
Yeah, the 43, that previous lap, he looked like he almost gave the 11 car a lane up high, and I don't think that's what he wants to do. I think that would be disastrous for him. That would give the Bolt that run on the outside, and that would keep that 43 car pinched down low. I think that might be what the 11 is looking for right now, either that or just a major slide job.
5 to go at the line, and Jose needs to protect the outside, like you said, J-Mac. He is too strong on the outside to let that go. This guy gets a huge run coming off the turns. People can try to race him on the bottom all they want, but unless they back it up and get huge momentum going into the turn, he's gonna have all the momentum coming off of the turn, thus keeping the lead. And coming up on 4 to go, the race is coming to a close. What are they gonna do? We have Jose, we have the Bolt, and we have Pro Boss, the top 3, all championship drivers. Who's going to be your winner and the championship winner tonight?
I have no idea. I'm thinking it's either going to be the 43 or the 11, but they could make contact with each other, and Pro Boss is in the perfect position to capitalize if they make some contact while racing. And that might be why the 43 car is protecting that bottom just a little bit more, while he's entering maybe a little bit lower than he had been when the 11 is there.
Contact with the 11 and the 9. That is going to hold him up a little bit. They managed to save it. But I'll tell you what, That has put a gap between the leader of Jose and the guy behind him. These guys are definitely going to try all they can to catch back up, but we're coming up on 2 to go, guys. We're almost on the final lap here, and man, Jose is going to have to do some defending because these guys are going to make all the run they can before the race is over. Proboss under the apron hits the bolt.
Just did not care.
Wow. Absolutely incredible.
Oh, wow. And finally, the yellow comes out.
And finally, the yellow comes out. Can you believe it, J-Mac?
I kind of can, because the 11 and the 9 made a lot of contact that previous corner. I think Proboss probably felt like the 11 chopped him, but the 9 car's been diving it in so deeply. I think he took that 11 of the Bolt by surprise. But either way, I think he took offense to how he got chopped that previous lap, and he drove it in there as hard as he could. And wow, that was a lot of contact, a lot of cars involved in that accident, and now we have a showdown to the finish here.
Worn tires and all. What are these guys going to do for pit strategy? You have Proboss, who dove it down low, and like you said, he sure gave the Bolt a surprise going in there, but I'll tell you what, Jose looking very, very strong out here. We have Wonder on the outside. I'm seeing a lot of glitching going on here. Not a good sign. You don't want to see this. Let's hope it straightens out here, but we have Jose with a strong lead. I'm seeing a lot of action going on in the back of the field. Not a good sign. A car going off into the bottom side wall. J-Mac, I'm scared.
Luckily, this seems... from our experience, this is an issue on our end, so it's not involving them, but the 2 car of Ramsett just got crushed into the wall. There is a yellow flag out. I don't know if that's the end of the race or if that's going to be a green-white checkered. There is a yellow flag out. This game can throw yellows whenever you've crossed the white flag, and when you should get a checkered flag, it'll decide to start racing you again, so... we'll have to see. Apparently the race
J-Mac,
is over.
that is the end of the race. We're going to have the 43. That is going to be as Jose as your championship winner for the AKA Cup Series League. A huge congratulations to him. Can we get a cheer in the chat for this guy? Incredible for him. Congratulations to him. Let's see if he's still in here. No, he's definitely not in here. Let's get him in.
And who in the heck finished second and third? Ooh.
That's insane. So, Jose is your championship winner here. Let's see if we can get second and third in. Justin, do you know who finished second and third after all that?
I'm going to take that silence as a no.
He's probably trying to figure it out also. That was insane.
Oh, wow.
What a finish.
Just absolutely crazy. Just hard racing between the 9 and the 11, and they lost their cool a little bit, and then that caused a big wreck, and Jose was just able to drive away from them there on that final restart. That was
championship winner
that was a
right
thing.
here. How was your car feeling the whole night?
Oh my god. Horribly loose to begin with. Like I said before the interview, I would hit the seams and would just get loose off the corners. So made a couple adjustments here and there. They're very small adjustments each pit stop. But I was able to get it away from, or not get as loose as when I hit the seams. But I knew something like that was going to happen that last caution. It always does. A lot of pulling away.
Yeah.
And gosh. But thankfully, that last pit stop, not everybody took new tires. I think I had like a wall of old tires behind me, so I was able to pull away from them.
Yeah, that was incredible. And you were doing all you could to hold them off. How much mirror driving were you doing?
A lot in the last. I was kind of doing it the end of stage 2. I was doing it a lot. Stage 1?
Yeah.
But probably more than I usually do. I did that last, that third stage. Because I knew I had I think it was like a 1 second lead. I try not to pay attention to that because I think one lap I was looking back and it messed me up. But I knew that draft was going to pull them back to me.
Yeah.
But I knew, I think Bolt took 2 tires that second to last caution before that green flag run. I think like 15 it was like 30 to go or something like that. I saw Bolt took 2 and I took 4 and I started in, I think it was like 6. So I just had to be patient and find an opening and take it to the front.
Well, you did a hell of a job. Congratulations to you on the championship. We have on screen that he's got 3 wins. Cross that out and make it 4. Add a championship to it, and this guy has just had a fantastic season. So many people rooting for you. Mike RPM says, good win. AKA Johnny Rocket says, congratulations, Jose. Rock NASCAR says, one hell of a championship race. Congrats on your win. Dohar says, Jose is the cleanest guy out there. Just, you have a lot of people behind you and a great championship won for tonight. You got pole. You won the last race. You won this race. You have a extremely competitive car out there, and it just proves it with the championship here tonight. Again, congratulations, Jose.
Thank you guys for watching. Everybody listening. I have a couple of my friends watching, but I think they're still watching. I don't know. They don't watch NASCAR, so I'm the only one in my friends who watches it. So
Really?
they give me crap every time for watching it. Yeah.
Well, hopefully
But,
we made at least a little bit of a
Thanks,
fan
guys.
out of him. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
J-Mac, you want to give Wonder an interview for second place? This guy finished out second place tonight.
Sure. He had a great view for a lot of that action there at the end. How about what did you see when you were watching the 11 and the 9 car start getting a little physical up there?
Well, I was more worried myself about just trying to get through anything that happened in front of me, but then on that last restart, Toaster went by, kind of door checked me a little bit on that restart, and then I got another run back on him and speared him pretty good into the door checked him as I went by. I didn't mean to. I know he was in the hunt for the championship, so that's why I was a little late coming into the booth, because I had to stick around and apologize to Toaster there for a minute. But yeah, I took a couple weeks off, a little hiatus there, and boss wanted me to run this last one, so yeah, good car all night, that's for sure. Good clean race
Yeah, you
up
did.
until it was just a good clean race, I think, all the way around tonight. Good AKA race.
Yeah, we're definitely putting on a heck of a show, and you definitely brought a good piece tonight, especially after a little bit of a break. You didn't show much rust there, especially there toward the end when you worked your way up. But before that last caution, you had a great view of the of a wreck we're gonna talk about for a while. A lot of racing. What'd you see between the 9 and the 11 there as we reached the finish?
I'm going to plead the fifth on this one.
Probably a smart move. Probably a smart move.
That is
Before I left our party in the race, boss wanted me to apologize for him, so we'll kind of leave it at that. But,
Alrighty.
I think he had a big part to do with what happened there. And
You know,
10-4.
Yeah.
you put on a heck of a race, and go ahead, Frozen. I don't have anything too important to say.
I was just gonna say, going for a championship race. I mean, every single person that is in the championship contender, they are all gonna race as hard as they can. Man, diving down that low, stuff happens. So hopefully, I guarantee it wasn't intentional, but he was definitely pushing the limits there. But I'm not sure that it would have.
Yes, he was.
I'm not sure that it would have changed the outcome. Jose just had the car to beat tonight, and even if that didn't happen, I think Jose still would have won. So just huge props to him. Pro Boss, Lucky Dog, Expert Toaster, you have to be proud with the way you ran tonight. A fabulous race. Everybody, Wonder, the entire field. It's been a fantastic season, and huge props to all you guys. It's been great to get to know some of the guys I haven't talked to.
Who finished third?
I don't know.
I
I'm
have
trying to
no
figure
idea.
it out. I don't know.
We were too.
Yeah.
Before I left, we was trying to figure out who.
No idea.
Yeah, we didn't
Well,
even know
I guess we'll
honestly
see
if
it
it
on
was
the,
gonna on this. Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure it was on the stream, but we weren't even sure if that was the final, lap. If they were gonna call it, because you never know with the game. But they called it, so it caught us a little off guard. But yeah, I mean, just a crazy race, a crazy race. I want to give a shout out to everyone who followed tonight, who joined in, who supported these guys the entire season tonight and throughout. Jose 720 is your championship winner. 4 wins this season. The guy is on a roll. He did great out there, had a great run. Everyone says how clean he runs, how fast he is. It couldn't have gone to a better guy. A lot of talented guys out there, but in the end, Jose 721. So again, congratulations to you, Jose. Celebrate that victory.
Woohoo!
Good job, Jose.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that is it for us, J-Mac. It's been a heck of a season with you in the booth. I'm a little sad, but hopefully we'll be back for yet another season.
Indeed, it's been a very interesting experience up here in the booth, watching the racing from a different perspective, and it's been a fun challenge. But I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed hanging out with y'all, and
Yeah, you guys
getting
do a
to
heck
know-
of a job, by the way. That's for sure.
Thanks,
Oh, thank
Wonder.
Oh yeah, I always go back after and watch it.
Yeah,
job.
this is
Well,
definitely
I do
another
too.
one to
I do
watch.
too.
Yeah, I mean, you guys do a great job racing out there, and this is definitely a race for the books. Once again, I gotta say, Chicago and this race was one of my favorites for the entire season. You guys know how to shut it down with a bang there.
Yeah.
All
Is
right,
Boss
that is.
still on? I thought maybe if for
We can
the
get him in here.
send off, yeah, maybe. he might
Let's
wanna-
get that guy in here. Pro Boss is your league owner for
Since
AKA.
we didn't have a third.
Yes, we'll get him in here.
And just for the record, I think it's too late to get him probably, but I believe I saw
Yeah.
42 finish third.
Okay, 42, and that's MDL. So great job to him also. Pro Boss, welcome to the
that
booth.
might be a season best finish for him. I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to say it's been a heck of a season out there. You raced, excuse my language, but you raced your ass off tonight and last race. I do have to know what happened with
Yep.
you and the Bolt.
I
bar.
ran out of talent 3 laps short. I took Bolt out worse than it was a nightmare for me. I blew it. I tried to dive it in there. I knew he was on no tires, really kind of holding me up, so I was frustrated to begin with. But yeah, I threw it in there, and I hope for the best. You know, they say hashtag send it. I sent it. It didn't work out real well.
You tried. You tried.
So I did. I apologized to him up one side and down the other, and I hope he finds it in his heart to forgive me. But yeah, I wanted to win one. It's all good.
Yeah, I mean,
But what a great race, though, I think. That was awesome.
absolutely,
It was really fun.
absolutely. If you guys are just now tuning in, I suggest after the stream is over, I suggest you go back and watch it because it was a heck of a battle out there. The top 4 guys out front the entire night. So I just want to thank Pro Boss for giving us this opportunity to allow us to announce the entire season. It was a blast. It's fun to be a part of it, so thank you for that. And you guys had a great season. And I'm going to say it one more time. Congratulations to Jose on that championship win. Incredible.
Good job, Jose.
Thank you.
All right. This time we are finally out. Tomorrow we will be back. We will have the IndyCar season back in action again. So I hope you can join us. It'll be around 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But this is the last Sunday for a while for AKA. Hopefully we'll be back soon. But they had a heck of a season, and thank you so much for joining us for the entire season. Take it easy, guys. Great job, guys.